Yo, what's going on, guys? It's me, Austin Feltron. Today we are back, and today I recently read an article about a long time ago, like 50 years ago. This chess grandmaster had this thought that eventually everybody would be so good at chess that every single game between grandmasters, the people that are at the top level of the game of chess, every time they would play each other, they just ended in a tie because they'd be so good. So he made a 10 by 10 chess game to make the next step in the evolution of the game, to keep it fresh so that there's a new way to expand and get better at the game so that it didn't reach this thing called draw death. And I like to play chess, a pretty decent amount, especially during the last few months of quarantine. I've gotten a lot better at chess, I like to play it a bit. And so, I decided I'd try to make my own take on 10 by 10 chess. And that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to be making a 10 by 10 variant of chess. I'm going to be trying to play it on video for you guys, giving an analysis. So I don't really know where to start, but I'm going to just start brainstorming some ideas, do a little bit of research to see what I need. Let's get into it. And Jimmy's purring, which means that he thinks it's a good idea. That's you, Jimmy. He's staring at himself. That's you, Jim. Alright, guys, so these are basically the new rules or additions to 8x8 chess that I came up with yesterday. So first, it's 10 by 10, 100 squares instead of 64 now, and AK Feltron chess. Excuse the bad handwriting. I had a flat pencil, and I didn't have any way to sharpen it, so it's kind of bad handwriting. So first, we have a new piece, the guard. Now there's two guards, and they're worth 2 points each. And they line up, one next to the queen, one next to the king. The thing for the guard is they can move one space in any direction, like a king, but also what they can do is they can capture a piece if it's 2 spaces forward or backwards, or sideways. So basically, it looks like this. As you can see, the guard can move one space in any direction, and it can capture a space if it's, one space away in any direction, but also if it's 2 forward, backwards, or to the right and left. And also now, knights can now move 3 spaces forward or sideways before they move their 1 space, or 2. Giving the knights a little bit more power helps to keep the balance between knight and bishop, which is a main component of normal chess. So we basically had to give the knight a little bit more power to counter how the bishop is getting a little bit more power because the board is bigger, which means the bishop has access to more squares. So the knight has to have more access to squares as well to keep the balance. Alright, guys, and for the knight in a 10 by 10, now usually it can only move to, for example, this one or this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Sort of a shape around it. But when it can move 3 in any direction and then 1, or 2 in any direction and then 1, you add a square on top and a square to the side. Square on top, square to the side. So it looks like this now. And it's the next step in chess evolution once 8x8 reaches draw death. Guards are 2 points, and pawns can also move 1, 2, or now 3 squares forward on their first move because that basically allows for some of the main principles of openings, like Rue Lopez, to stay intact. So now that that's out of the way, this is the board. 10 by 10, 100 squares. Let's look at it. This is the white side. So we have 10 pawns across, like usual, rooks in the corner, and then our knights right there, and then our bishops right there, and then we have our guards to the sides of the queen on her color, and the king. Then we go to the other side, whoop, we got the rooks in the corners, knights, bishop, guard on each side of the king and queen on her color, king, and then pawns all 10 across. Now, for example, this pawn right here, for classic Rue Lopez, 1, 2, 3, squares forward, and then this pawn right here, 1, 2, 3, maintain the first 2 moves. Now that the rules and the design for the board of 10 by 10 Feltron chess are laid out, I think it's time that we make a board. So I'm going to go downstairs to the chessboard that we have out in the living room, and I'm basically just going to measure the dimensions of the squares, and then I'm going to draw it out on some poster board. And after that, I guess I'll have to find something around the house, 2 things that look the same, or 4 actually, to use as guards. I don't know how this is going to work. So I measured the chessboard downstairs, and the pieces there, which I'll probably just use for this, the squares for it are 3 centimeters long, So it's some sort of British stuff. The squares are 3 centimeters by 3 centimeters, so that's what I'm going to use to draw a 10 by 10. So that means it'll be 30 centimeters by 30 centimeters, and I'll just divide it. Alright guys, I have my piece of poster board here, and I'm going to measure this. It's 30 centimeters long and 30 centimeters wide, and then I'm going to cut it out, and then I'll just divide it into 100 squares that are 3 by 3 centimeters. So let's go. Alright, now we gotta draw our squares. Alright guys, I finished drawing out the base grid for the board here. Each square is 3 centimeters by 3 centimeters. I think I did pretty good on this one. This side I did pretty bad on, and I messed up the squares because I wasn't focusing. So yeah, I have a way better grid here on the second try. And so now I'm going to fill in the squares, and I'm going to go slowly so I don't mess it up like I did last time. Let's go. Alright, I finished the board coloring in the squares. Not too bad, I guess. I mean, now what we gotta do is we gotta find pieces to be the guards. Alright, for 10 by 10 chess, we have the board, we have the rules, and we have all the other pieces. We just need the new guard piece. So, I really could not find anything around the house that I could customize in a way so we have 2 for each side and I can color them. Besides Q-tips. But I have an idea, and I think this could work. Now I'm going to basically just Sharpie these, I guess, black. And then I'm going to design them. But I'll just do one right now. Alright, so what I did was I just put toothpicks like this. And like this. And I sort of just taped them all together. And then the one sticking in the middle, I sort of cut it just to make it look a little bit more clean. Alright guys, well these are the guard pieces. This is the white one, this is the black one. I just folded 2 toothpicks over each other and taped around because the first design with 3 for each piece didn't really work that well. This one's working pretty good. It actually fits inside the square, so that's where the white one will line up. And that's where the black ones will line up. Queen right there, king right there. Bishop, knight, rook. Bishop, knight, rook. Same thing over there. And now, there's only one thing left to do, and that's to test Feltron chess. Feltron 10 by 10 chess. So tomorrow, I'm going to try to play someone in a game, and we'll have an analysis of how it went. See ya. Pieces are still the same, except knights and...
Knights go 3 and 1.
Alright, so we just start off with normal stuff, trying to control the center here. I put my guard out in front of my queen. And I'm white, my dad is playing black right now, just so you guys know. More center battles, trading pieces, still pretty even. I bring my bishop out, he brings his queen out, so he has the advantage over there. And we do another trade of pawns. And I move my knight forward, but he moves his queen and takes a pawn, which I should have been ready for, but I was not playing that good looking back. Kind of cringy. Watch, I does not play very good. I had to block his check with my bishop. He takes my bishop, I take his bishop, and I'm forced to move my king out, which kind of sucks. So I have to move out of check again. And he's able to take my knight with that trap, which is kind of disappointing. He's going to move his knight. We have a battle on the left side of the board now going on. I'm able to take his queen. We have a queen. We have a trade of queens. And he's still using that knight. I'm able to take it down. And now we're both just sort of resetting, trying to set up new attacks. I'm able to take a pawn with my rook. And right now I'm just using my rook to try to stop any, fruitful advances of his. Yeah, I mean, we trade rooks. This game's going pretty fast. Of course, I cut out the pauses. Now we're having some pawn battles. He's trying to move his garden to get an advantage. Moving our rooks around. Right now, this part of the game was mostly just strategy. We weren't really taking a lot of pieces. Just trying to get better positions. Yeah, he got his guard over there, which got him a good advantage. And, yeah, at this point I'm down because I made some mistakes early on, which is my fault. So I did cut out the pauses where we were thinking, so it's not like we were just doing like a super speedy chess game right now, where we were both taking time to think. Yeah, the game is getting towards its end here. We're in the end game now, and I'm just trying to move my rook around, try to outposition him to make some mistakes maybe, trying to put him in check, but it's not working too well. He has a good shield in front of his king as he's able to march his pawn down to get a queen. Yeah, I'm going to try to block over here, take his guard. At this point, I'm in check. I only have my king and rook left. And, I don't have a choice but to take his rook. And at this point, it's just my king, no other pieces. He has his queen and a guard, and they're just going to march me down. This is about it for me. I'm just hoping my dad will make a mistake, but at this point, he doesn't. Which means it's going to be checkmate. Alright guys, so that is basically it for 10x10 chess. I'm actually pretty happy with the result. The game is actually pretty fun to play. I've played a couple games since I filmed the first one I did. And I don't know if I got the balance perfectly right with all the pieces, but that's stuff that can be worked out, I guess. It's pretty good actually. I think I did a pretty good job. But thank you guys for watching the video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends if you enjoyed it. I've got a lot of more videos coming out soon. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out. I'll see you in the next one.